on Vast Motorsports. We're going to be working on Justin Just Trucking's Maxum SD 2400 deck boat, because that's the one I had sold him last summer. And it's going to get winterized, and I think the starter acted up on him the last time he went to take it out, so we're going to go ahead and put a new one so nobody has any issues, because it is fall season here in South Carolina. That is a clean boat. I pretty much had to restore that one and bring it back. It needed a whole powertrain swap pretty much, and it's got a nice fuel injected 5.0 multi-port injected. That is a beautiful truck, and I've redone the whole interior in it. It's got a nice stereo system in it, Fosgate 1000 amp, but it is a beautiful boat. You'll see more of it. So today on Vast Motorsports, I'm going to be working on Justin's boat of Just Trucking. It's the 02 model Maxum. It's a 2400 SD deck boat. Super nice. I love the layout. I really missed the boat. It was mine. I sold it to him last summer, and I'm pretty sure his family and him enjoyed it very thoroughly. You know, they loved it from what I hear, and I've seen a lot of videos and stuff. They kept going out and all. But at the end of the season, the last time he's taken it out, it did have a little issue with the starter. It was hanging up a little bit. They did take it out, but the point is, we don't want to chance anything. We're not going to do that on the lake. So we're putting a new starter, and that's what this video is going to be. And then I'm going to do a winterizing also. So stick around and enjoy. So first thing we got to do is get in here to the hatch area. But anyway, it does have this nice walk-through transom deal, because it's got the extended swim platform and the walk-through transom, and I even put in a remote for the stereo. But it does have this extra filler cushion in right now. I'm going to take it out. You have to anyway, but see, when it's out, it's a full step and walk through right there, and it's even got the little rinse down shower and all. I have used that before when I took it to Florida and got out of the salt water, and you're all sticky, you can get rinsed down. But anyway, it's a pretty sharp boat. The rest of it's covered up here. I'll try to show you. I don't want to undo it too much, because the leaves and stuff are blowing off the top of the shop. I don't want them filling up the boat, but the wind is starting to die down. Yeah, they don't give you a lot of room to work on these deck boats, that's for sure. But and that's the isolator I put in last year with the upgraded alternator, because the stereo and that will keep both banks charged up, you know, without hurting the alternator, and it'll put the maximum voltage to whichever bank needs it worse, which is usually the stereo battery, of course. But anyway, let's get down there to that starter. Go ahead and kill the battery, which it's already off. I just seen the switch, but let me get it unhooked. Holy crap, that is in a tight spot. Let me tell you what. But luckily I sent Jasper down in there, and he took it out for me. Thank you, Jasper. Good job. Good thing your little one can get in there, because that would be hell for anybody else to do. And starter, who knows, that might even been one I put on there, because I wound up doing a lot to this boat. I wanted to make sure it was as good as can be, but that's the cheap China junk you get these days. And I don't know for sure. I go through so much different motor stuff, I really can't remember. But anyway, let me grab the new starter and see if I can fish it back in. I mean, Jasper can fish it back in there. Oh, new sexy starter there. Old DB Electrical ain't playing around, yo, because it does look a little heavier duty to motor housing. I hope that doesn't equal cheaper and that it's better. And they even give me new bolts. So, of course, you always match up, make sure they look nothing obvious that they're different. All right, let's get her down in there, Jasper. Well, Jasper got the starter mounted down in there for me. Now I gotta hook the wires up. But yeah, you can see it took a toll on them. It's not an easy job. Thank you, Jasper. Thanks for getting the starter in for me. Alright, so we're going to change the outdrive oil on this Mercruiser Alpha 1 Gen 2. And it does have a little screw right here on the front. I like this short, flat, wide blade because you need something that's not going to strip that. I'm going to have to set the phone down to do this. Alright, then I do have it draining now, but it's slow. So I'm going to come up here above it. And you got the vent one here. I'm going to take this out, but I think I'm going to need both hands. So I'm going to remove this drain plug, or vent plug. Make sure I did see the O-ring come off with it. And I'm just going to let it sit here and drain. I'm doing this before I hook the earmuffs up and run the motor. I have to check this motor out because I just put a starter on it. I want to make sure the starter's good, but at the same time I need to warm up the engine a little to let the oil siphon out the dipstick tube. Or this one actually does have the drain hose, it just isn't hooked to the little drain plug, but I can put an old coat hanger up in there and hook it and pull it back out. I might just drain it that way. Either way, I got to get warmed up, make it thin enough for the oil to flow out good, or else it'll take forever. Now while my outdrive is draining, I'm going to go ahead and change the fuel filter. And I do have some fuel already mixed up with some Sta-Bil in it. I'm going to fill the filter up with that. I'm putting some of this in the tank and a little bit of gas just to wash it down the throat. And that way when I fire it up in a few to get it warmed up for the oil change, it will be circulating, you know, all through the fuel injection system. There he is, Benzo, my brother. Look, to get all forward.
I had to park it on the hill. It's used to being on hills now. You know, keeps the dogs off the back.
Yeah. Look, he is wanting you to pet him, boy.
He smells my dogs.
He's going nuts.
He smells my dogs on me.
No, he's just happy to see you.
Cool dog. He's like that. Oh,
man. Oh, yeah.
Yo, if that's what you do to your baby, you're going to get locked up for abuse. Man, how you gonna treat her like that? Oh, man, I didn't do it like that when she came here. I didn't wreck your car.
I didn't wreck your car, man.
Don't look at me, man.
Alright, so it got dark on me last night and had to start again today. So anyway, I was going to finish up the winterizing, and what I got here is the pump set up. You can get these pretty much anywhere, Walmart or Bass Pro, any of the shops, you know. But anyway, you just pump it up until it comes out the vent hole right here. Put the plug in, clean everything up, make sure your little seals are good that's on the plugs. You want to have a nice washer seal on it. And then go inside and just top off your reservoir. Most any Gen 2, you know, 93, 94 and up, somewhere in that area, they'll start having that reservoir inside. All right, filled it up till it was coming out the vent. Put the plug in, made sure everything was cleaned up. Bottom plug in, it's a magnet. Got any little debris off that, you know, they're always going to have a little bit of build-up type stuff. But anyway, just wipe that off, make sure everything is clean. You don't see anything major metal or anything. But it didn't have any water in it or anything like that, so we're good there. Anyway, get this stuff cleaned up, and that way I can go ahead and get the earmuffs on it and get her fired up. And you know, sometimes this boat was luckily high enough I could just do it here outside, and sometimes I have these little ramps cut out of wood. I sometimes will back a boat up on them if the outdrive won't go down far enough. But when I had that, you can kind of lower it down into the pan a little more, but I've raised it up some so I can get the pan out. But you want to make sure she's pretty close to vertical. Alright, got the water turned on. Let me climb up here and turn the batteries on and see if I can get her to fire up. That's what else I like to see. As soon as I bumped up the speed, it jumped up to about 14. But anyway, I'm going to let it sit back there and run a little bit, get a little temperature up, get the oil pumping. That's the Infinity head unit installed, along with Rockford amp. Got the low ramps, which I need to get some, I gotta get my waypoints out of this, Justin. I'm glad I come by. There's no card in it right now. I'm going to get my mini SD and get the waypoints, because I've got an awful lot of waypoints from my Florida time and trips. I do not want. Alright. Yeah, sounds good. For the hatch to be open and we're sitting right here beside it. Sounds good. Alright. Good deal. Alright, I don't know if it's going to work or not. I got it hooked in there, but is it going to allow it? Nope. That sucks. What a bitch. Got lucky on my second try with the little hook on my piece of coat hanger rod there. So now I can start draining. So come up into the boat real quick, take the cap off to help the flow, because if you do have a good sealed up engine like it's supposed to be, it will create vacuum and not let it drain as quick, you know. But this one, I love this. You just pretty much turn this knob here, and this is how you let the water out. Voila. I do love that feature. But again, I still take the top hoses off and pour the antifreeze in, because I know I've seen the engines before. I'll take all the plugs out and a couple of them, nothing will come out at all. Like you'd think, oh man, wow, the water's out. You take a pick and pop, and then it just flows. So anyway, there could be, this just has like a bunch of little pipes that go up to where the blue plugs used to be. And it's still draining, as you can see. It was rushing out really good at first. But you could have one of those clogged and still have water in it and freeze and cause damage. So anyway, let me pop these top hoses off and get the RV antifreeze ready. And run the coolant, the actual freshwater system until there's just air. And now I can put antifreeze or coolant into that freshwater on the side of the boat also while I'm at it. And I'm going to take the cap off the one here on the side, so there's water. This is my freshwater intake and the vent under it. Gonna take RV antifreeze and put this whole gallon in. This system doesn't get, you don't drink this water. It's just for like rinsing stuff off or rinsing the decks off when you get in. If you happen to be sandy, or if you happen to be in salt water or something you want to get rinsed down, you can. So at the beginning of the season, when it gets all flushed out, it'll be safe again. Alright, so I changed the oil filter. It's on the top here. Made a little bit of a mess, so I'm going to try to wipe it all up. And now it's time to retighten the handle here, just snug. That will close off the water system, and then go ahead and winterize with the antifreeze. Alright, let's see if we can get it running until there's a little bit of pink. Oh, that's good. Didn't take long at all. Which, it's a small system, and it doesn't have a Not like there's a hot water heater or anything on this. So. Let's see. Oh yeah, good deal. Alright. I'll have to move to the other little sink in the little head compartment, and there's a front shower. Alright, so. Oh yeah. Doesn't take much to get that one. It's right here. The tank is right underneath. Alright. And to the front shower where the ladder and all is. I think the anchor or something. Okay, I don't know if you can see it on the hose, but it does have a pink tint to it, so that's really all I need. Especially, thankfully, here in South Carolina. So I got everything mounted back down as far as like the isolator and all, and went ahead and rinsed it out a little just to make sure everything was good and clean. Put the new oil filter. Of course, got the new, I checked the oil with the dipstick, made sure it was at the full level, everything is closed, topped off the out drive. It's just the boat is sitting at such a odd level right now because I had it draining out the drain plug, you know. Went ahead and hooked up the shocks, got all this set back up, so she is good to go. Fixed the trailer wiring up front where it plugs in. It had some bad spots, so I just cut it off, replaced it with a new one. I know you approve too, don't you? Thank you, Jasper. Good job. Good job. All right, till next time, folks. Well, look who's around today. Picking up the boat. Everybody knows who this is.
What's going on?
Justin. Just trucking.
Well, Myrtle Beach
Heck
truck
yeah,
week, man.
I know, I seen.
Good
Looked like a
times.
good time.
Great times, man.
Jasper's saying hello.
Hi, puppies. Thanks for getting this thing ready, man.
Oh yeah, no problem.
Care of it, got it ready for the winter, then we'll pop her out this first time it gets warm.
That's right.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's the boat life.
Be ready.